Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision. This time we're going to play God. Populous 2 is the sequel to the 1989 game Populous by Bullfrog by the much fated Peter Molyneux. Larry Bundy Jr.'s blood pressure has just risen. Yes, the serial fibber Peter Molyneux devised this game via his company Bullfrog. And we're going to start off on the ST version. It's actually the kind of second sequel to Populous, because between this and Populous 1, Bullfrog produced Powermonger, which was based on the same engine. So here we are on the ST. We need to create our deity first of all. In this version of the game, or Populous 2, you are a demigod, so you can select what you want your face to look like, and you can assign your powers as well. You get a limited amount of power at the beginning, a few clicks to those different things there. Fire, water, earth, and so on. Although actually I've got a big cheat on, so I can just select as much as I like. All the other versions I'm playing legitimately here on the ST, I've got a lot more power than I would normally have. It runs on a 512K ST. The game was originally coded for 1 megabyte Amiga. There were 512K versions for the Amiga, which has cut down sound, as does the ST. We're starting off on map number 0. And we can pretty much do we can do very little. We can raise and lower land anywhere on the map. And we've got a very limited amount of divine intervention things. I think fire and a couple of other things. There are 29 different types of, not spell, but powers you can use in the game. They're not always assigned to you. 30 in the PC version, which unfortunately I can't run because although I've got a PC that can run it, the wonderful person who put it online didn't split it up into floppy disks, just put the entire lot online, and I couldn't get it down onto enough disks. I gave up in the end. So basically the first thing you do in the game is to get some land where your settlers can settle down. Settlers, different game. The more flat land they have around their settlement, the bigger it becomes, until it becomes like a castle settlement with walls. We'll see that in a minute. Your leader, and he's just walked off screen there, has a little thing above him, which is your god sign. You can see him there. And around the map as well will be a giant one of those little circle things with arrows coming off that you can send your people to worship to give you mana. And mana is the thing that allows you to cast spells. Here on the ST version, I've got loads of mana. It's infinite, not a problem. But usually, that little arrow on the bottom left-hand side will be down up the top there on the left. How far that is depends on how many people you've got, how much they've worshipped you, and then that defines what spells you can cast. So you can see the cast. Those settlements are now turning into the largest settlements you can have, which are castles, which have walls around them, which are quite hard for the enemy to get into. On later levels as well, you can build a wall around your settlements, which your people can cross over, but the enemies can't. But we'll come on to that. So at the moment, really, it's just about clearing land. Your population is shown on the top right-hand side of the screen. You are represented by little blue dots that jiggle around. The enemy is represented by little red dots that jiggle around. Here at start, you start off with a population advantage, and there's the enemy down there. I can already just kind of cast some spells on them and disrupt them by putting fire on them and so on, just to generally annoy them and catch some fire, really. But they'll always be down one side of the map, and you'll always start up at the other. And you get a map view on the top left-hand side there. Over to the SNES version. It's important to show this version, actually, because all the versions are the same, pretty much, apart from the Super Nintendo version, which is being ported by this company called Imagineer, we just saw go by. So there's a long introduction sequence. I'll just skip past that because we want to see the gameplay. Different menu system and different presentation. There you go. It's like a Japanese RPG. You get this map thing, and you have to progress through the game. This isn't really suitable for Populous. It's something they've had to do to placate Nintendo, I guess. And you get this weird screens here with the enemy god, which are really tacky and dated in a way no other Populous version does. And you get a different screen here again as well from all the other versions showing you. And that was the same screen as we saw on the ST, effectively. Well, supposed to be the same screen, but it isn't. It just shows you what powers you've got. And there we go. It's a squashed up, because it's PAL, version of what we've seen on the ST. With some extra graphics as well, because the ST and version is cut down to 512K. I think the SNES version and the Mega Drive versions have all the features the 1 Mega version do. The controls are really fiddly, because obviously you're on the joypad, which isn't too much of a problem, but the problems start when you have to start going into the left-hand side there to activate your... I would keep on calling them spells, but they're not. They're called something else. But it's really fiddly. You've got to press the right button on the joypad and skip through the menus. And the game does pause when you're doing this, but it's still... It just ruins the flow. When you go back from the SNES version to the other... from the SNES version to the other versions, it's really noticeable. And you remember what I said about the screen being squashed up? Actually, the thing is here, the screen has been squashed up because you've got this weird system down the bottom right-hand side there to show you which way to press the buttons to move. Which is just really... Is it just, I don't know if it's to move around or show you what buttons to press, but it squashes the screen up and just is generally quite annoying. So I forwarded this on, so I'm nearly completed level 1 because I've got I haven't eliminated the enemy, but I'm nearly filling up that Colosseum at the top right hand side. I could nail my mana, and I'm not cheating on the SNES version, I could select the Armageddon button down there, if I can manage. See, I can't do it. The control's really annoying. If I manage to select Armageddon, everyone on the screen turns into a warrior and just immediately fights everyone else, and whoever's left standing wins, basically. But I'm going to be left standing because I've got lots and lots of people, and the computer has like 2 dots. Here we go, 2 dots. And the computer is represented by those little scary heads, and I'm the circles with arrow things coming off them. Sound effects are very, very Spartan, but they represent what you need to hear. And you can see everyone's fighting, and then the last... I win this comfortably. There we go. I've completed level 0 on the SNES. I just don't like these graphics on the SNES. Why not just port the Amiga version straight away? It just looks really tacky. Is it designed to appeal to the Japanese market? I don't know. Back to the ST, and it's still on level 0 here, and there you go, I've won. My highest mana is 999,000, because I'm cheating, but at least you get an idea there of that's the screen you get on the 16-bit versions, ST, Amiga, Mega Drive, or they're all 16-bit versions. The home computer versions will give you far more detail, and then you get this screen with a man with things in his hand. It shows you how many power-up things you get. So, over to the Sega Mega Drive, and unlike the SNES, we've got all the stuff from the ST and Amiga version. So this is level 100, and it's set on sludge, so it's very green and sludgy. There's some really nice looking levels on here, by the way. The snow and ice levels look really nice, and the tropical levels look really nice with the colours. The sludge levels are quite depressing, really. Doesn't matter, it's supposed to be the kind of variation of the landscape. When you win a level, by the way, there's 1,000 levels in the game, but you don't go up 1 level necessarily. If you win really well, you can jump quite a few levels up. If you win just by a narrow margin, you only jump 1 or 2 levels up. So the aim is always to win as well as possible by the biggest margin, and then you'll jump up more levels. So over to the Amiga, I'm on level 132. Got lots of nice powers on here. Including, and there's my enemy, by the way, including lots of water things like whirlpools and tidal waves and things like that, which are nice, and firing rain and all sorts of things there. And we're playing this, oh, that's the copy protection, we don't have to worry about that though. Got a real version, but you then have to go and check the manual. Here you go, this is the desert level, looks really nice. And this is the full 1 Mega Amiga version. So I forwarded it on later in the level. And got a nice little settlement going on, just about equal, got slightly more people than the computer, although I've got kind of larger settlements there. There's some computer enemies down there. Let's go and check out where the computer is. We can go and cause some chaos for him. Oh, he's trying to gain mana by getting all his people into his worshipping thing. So I'm just causing some chaos there by striking him all with lightning. And reminder, on the Amiga version, I'm playing this completely straight, apart from using level skip codes, obviously, to get this far into the game. Which you can do at any time. The codes are freely available online. And you get them when you complete a level as well. So back in the day, there'd be a lot of writing down of code so you can get back to where you were. And also writing down the codes of your god. So again, you could regain all your skills that you lost rather than actually have a save game. So trying to cause a bit of chaos here for the computer. A little bit of lightning, set fire to a few settlements, do a few god-like things. This is the thing about Populous 2 over the original game. There weren't that many spells and there was far less intervention. In Populous 2 there's far more going around zapping people and being vengeful, which is obviously far more fun. Oh, the computer has set off a whirlpool down there. So what I need to do there... Eek, and there's another one. Right. Right, that's not what I wanted to do. I need to go into there and build some land quickly before all my people die. It's just grow as much land as possible, raise as much land up as possible. You're having a vital battle here against this whirlpool. It's eating into my settlement. He's going to be for it in him. I'm going to go and do that to him in a minute. There we go. Oh... They stop eventually, but it does help if you build up the land around them because they lose energy. These things like the whirlpool seem to have a finite amount of energy to use before they expire, and they consume far more energy if they're eating the land. And there's the enemy leader, and he's been told to go round house to house and beat my people up. Those signs on the bottom right hand side there, the bottom right one, the little circle thing, tells people to go and worship me. Go to the point, that little face thing there, the enemy's one, and my little ball thing. To go there, you might want that if you want a new leader, because that's how you point a new leader if your leader's killed. A little arrow with a flag is make settlements. IT is fight. The arrow with the little man means group together, and the little question mark is a little hover thing to show you details about a settlement, how many people are there and the strength and stuff. And I'm just going around electrocuting people at the moment, which is good. There's a lot of damage to my land down there, a lot of people wandering around, not able to settle, and it's something to keep an eye out for. Got a lot of people wandering around when you've told them to settle down, and actually I've got them on fight at the moment, but if they're not settling around, they're wandering around, then you've got a problem. The other thing you can use your little worshipping thing for as well, by the way, is... I'm setting off an earthquake there. Well, no, not an earthquake, but a thing that opens up a fissure in the ground. The other thing you can use a little worshipping thing for is to get people to another point on the map. You can settle it down and then say, right, go there, and all the people will stream across the map. You can even do things like build roads to it, which means people travel faster. I just need to cause a bit of chaos here, because this is the last bit of settlements for the enemy. And I just need to be a very vengeful god and just basically destroy them. And if there's a little bit of collateral damage of my side at this stage, well, the numbers doesn't really matter. But I told my people to go and fight, so they're going to go along there. I'm going to fill those gaps in so my people don't fall down the gap, although the computer player just did. If something's happening to your people, by the way, you'll hear a sound effect. You won't necessarily know where that thing's happening, but there's audio cues. There we go, that's level 1 completed. Oh no, level 1, level whatever it was, 273 days, and yeah, I did quite well there. So over to the ST, and this is a winter level. Again, looks very attractive. And I'm just marginally winning here. I've been going at this quite a while. Just put some mud pools down there for the enemy to go into. Because they're all kind of going around this area to go to his worshipping things. I want them to fall in there. Unfortunately, or perhaps when they... Right, now they're going to go off. Hopefully the enemy leader is going to wander into a mud pool. because they're all quite stupid, but I'm going to zap him instead. You have to zap them for quite a while, by the way. If there's a lot of... One person isn't one person, so to speak. It appears to be a group of people, or the strength. So you can... Sometimes you can zap people and they die straight away. Or sometimes you can zap people for ages and they'll lose strength, but they won't die completely. That's happened there. But there, someone's gone into a mud pool, so that's fine. I've got a volcano option on this level as well, but you need quite a lot of mana to set it off. But it's enormous fun when you do. And you can see my people are going to my worshipy thing there. That builds strength. Now I've told them to go off and fight. I've also built a road down there. They've only got that far. Let's fill that gap in there. And let's build my people a little bit of snowy land to build some more houses on. We're doing quite well though. And I'm going to set off a volcano now. Why not? I'm a vengeful god. Yay, look at this. Look, they're probably a bit too close to my land, but my people, but hey ho. Again, that's going to cause chaos. It sends off lava everywhere. They walk into the lava flows, they all die. It's really good fun. Put that in the middle of an enemy settlement area, and that's a great bit of carnage right there. But watch out, that's my leader who I've converted into a champion, who will generally go around and basically fight everyone. You can also get versions of champions that will go around converting the enemy to your side as well on some of the later levels. There is a little bit of slowdown on the ST when there's a lot going on. Especially when you're trying, again, you're doing things to annoy the enemy. And now, I've got a settlement here where I've built a wall around it, and you can see the enemy, who I'm trying to drown, can't get inside the wall. My people can cross that wall, but the enemy cannot. Now, I've just seen an enemy there, and he shouldn't be able to get in there, so there's got to be a reason why he is in there. So now I've got to go find out what's going on. The enemy is casting spells and getting very annoyed and trying to get into my cities, perhaps zap my wall. I still don't know how the enemy's got in there, but I'm losing here badly, as you can see the top right hand corner there. I've got a very small population left. Oh, that's why. They are conversion pools. If one of your people falls into a conversion pool, they turn into an enemy. He's been crafty because he can't get past my wall. What he's done is make conversion pools to convert my people into his, and therefore he's suddenly got people inside the wall. So the thing you have to do is raise and lower the land over those pools, and you're then safe on your side of the wall. But he's going to try that again, I'm sure. Look, he's got loads of people. They can't get in. He's got all these champions there. Leaders he's converted into champions. They cannot get in. They can't. My people can cross the wall. The enemy cannot get over the wall. What I want to do is see if I can make some conversion pools, because I'm going to lose this. I need to put some conversion pools in there. That's the icon there in the middle, little red and blue arrows. I need to put some of those in. But first, let's eat up some of his land with some whirlpools. He's doing... There you go. Right, there's a conversion pool. So now, people will be going into those and turning into blue people, which could save me. There you go, that guy there. Oh no, but the trouble is, you can get a kind of reoccurring Jet Set Willy thing where they will fall in one side, come out your colour, and then go the other way and fall in again. Right. There's a lot of enemies over there. But look at a lot of I'm gaining people. Look how much I'm gaining. Because he's walking them all through. They're trying to get to his worship point. And look, they're all coming out. So what was suddenly a stream of red is all coming out as blue. This is magic. Oh, he set off he set off a volcano inside my settlement to ruin my wall. This guy's good. I think it's level 150 or something like that, so the computer AI is starting to get quite crafty. And I forwarded it on, and yeah, the computer's got his advantage back again, and there's still a volcano going off in the middle there. And he has won, basically. I've got one little man left there, I think. Possibly a few others. I've lost my leader. I'm sending him to my... It's a matter of time before it's game over. No, game over. Oh, well. I did quite well there, but gratifying on the scores there. He won, but my leader only died twice. And I did quite well, considering he ended up with 221,000. I was winning at one point, and I managed 90,000, so hey-ho. When I first got Populous 2, it was late 92, and I played it in late 92 and early 93 over Christmas holidays, and I didn't go out for days. I had my new Amiga, I had lots of games, but I played Populous more than any other game I have, I think. I really rented it for days and days on end, because it's such a compelling game. You can lose so much time to it. Even in these reviews, I've lost an incredible amount of time. Even doing these reviews, I've got something like 3 hours of gameplay doing all these different versions, mainly the ST and Amiga versions, but because it takes so long, an individual game, one level can be 40 minutes easily. The lead version is clearly the Amiga, it's the best, and you need a 1 meg Amiga as well, the 1 meg Amiga version. The ST version is slightly cut down, although you can also play that cut down version on a 512K ST, as you've seen here. Other than sound effects and a few extra graphics, there's not much to choose between the two versions. Likewise, the Megadrive version, except with the Megadrive you're on a joypad, and this game really, really needs a mouse, in all honesty. The Super Nintendo version has been played around with far too much. They should have just left it alone and done it like the Megadrive version. It just looked rather amateurish in places when the original game is so polished. Populous 2 is a wonderful game, and it still stands up today. The only problem with it is Peter Molyneux is still living off how good games like this and Magic Carpet are. When Populous 2 came out, Molyneux promised the Earth and literally delivered it. Today, he promises the Earth, but he's completely forgotten how to make games like this.